Hello, good afternoon to everyone. My name is Gagandeep Kaur, working as an assistant professor at CGC College of Engineering, Landra. I am going to deliver a lecture on topic Introduction to Data Structure and Algorithm and classification of data structure and various operations applied on data structures. First of all, we will discuss about what is data structure. Topics to be covered in this lecture: what is data structure, basic terms related to data structure, why should we learn about data structure, objectives, classification and basic operations of data structures. We will also discuss about applications of data structure. First of all, we will start with what is data structure and algorithm. Data structure is basically a key aspect of computer science which is used to store, which is used to sort the data. Data structure is a branch of computer science. The study of data structure allows us to understand the organization of data and the management of data flow in order to increase the efficiency of any particular process or a program. Data structure is also known as a particular way to storing and organizing data in the memory of computer system. It is also used to retrieve the data and also used to utilize the data in future when it required. In other words, we can say that data structure is a representation of the logical or mathematical relationship existing between the elements of data for a specific organization. How algorithms are associated with data structures. Basically, what is an algorithm? For example, a cooking recipe written on a piece of paper is the best example of algorithm. Algorithm is a step-by-step procedure to solve a particular problem. It is a finite set of instructions or a logic written in order to accomplish a certain task. We can say that a program having two factors. First is the algorithm, second is the data structure. That means algorithm is set of instructions written to carry out certain task, whereas the data structure is a way to organizing the data with their logical relationship retained. A data structure is not worth much if you cannot search through or manipulate its efficiency using algorithms. Next is the properties of an algorithm. Each algorithm must satisfy the following properties. First one is the input, second one is the output, third one is the definite and finite and correctness. Input is there should be a zero or more inputs supplied externally to the algorithm. Output is there should be at least one output obtained. And what is the meaning of definite? Definite meaning every step of algorithm should be clear and well defined. For example, if we declare any variable and we also know about that where that variables are utilized in the program. Finite, it means the algorithm should have a finite number of steps. Correctness means every step of algorithm must generate a correct output. If we define a C is equals to A plus B, then it means that we want to store a sum of two numbers into a third variable which we have declared in the program. Next, an algorithm is said to be efficient and fast. Each algorithm must the performance of algorithm must be measured on the behalf of two factors. First is the space complexity, second is the time complexity. Space complexity represents that the amount of memory space required by the algorithm during the execution. There are three components in which the space complexity of an algorithm requires. First one is the instruction space. It means it's the space required to store the executable version of the program, as we can say that it is the last version of the program when our program is executed. Next is the data space. Data space means it's the space required to store all the constants and variables. For example, when we declare the variables or when we start to writing the program, then some space is required to store all the constants and variable, that is known as the data space. Next is the environmental space, which is required for resume the suspended function, for assigning the value or for declare the values of any variables. Next is the time complexity. Time complexity is a way to represent the amount of time required by the program to run till its completion. Time complexity is represented by various notations. First notation is a big O notation. It represents the worst case of an algorithm as time complexity. Next is the omega. Omega notation represents the best case of algorithm time complexity, which means that is a set of functions that grow faster than or at the same rate as a expression. Last is the theta notation. Theta notation consists of all the functions that lie in both omega and big O notation. It indicates the average bound of an algorithm. It represents the average case of the algorithm time complexity. After that, what is the need of data structure? By the developers should learn about the data structure and algorithm. Data structure and algorithms are the key aspects of the computer science, and which supported the different methods to organize, to manage and to store the data efficiently. With the help of data structure, we can easily traverse the items, and with the help of data structure, we also provide a efficiency, reusability and abstraction of data. Data structure allows us to organize and store the data, whereas algorithm allows us to process the data meaningfully. We will be able to write the code that is more effective and reliable, also to solve the problem more quickly and efficiently. Next is the basic terms related to data structure. There are various terms related to a data structure. First term is a data. Data, we can define data as a elementary value or a set of values. For example, the employee's name and ID are the data related to employee. Next is the data item. Data item is a single unit of value that is known as the data item. Third one is the group items. Group items is known as the data items that have a subordinate data items are known as a group items. For example, an employee name can have a first name, last name or middle name. Elementary data items are also related with the data structure. Data items that are unable to divide into a sub items are known as elementary items. For example, ID of an employee. We cannot divide the ID of employee into a sub items of data. After elementary data item, next is the entity and attributes. These two are the terms associated with the data structure. A class of certain object is represented by an entity. It consists of the different attributes. Attributes are just like names of fields like ID, name, gender, job title, and the values that are assigned to a ID are known as the values of attributes. Each attribute symbolizes the specific property of that entity. For example, ID is 1 2 3 4 5, name is equals to Stacy M Hill, and gender is female, job title is a software developer. Entities with similar attributes form an entity set. Entity set is also a associated basic term of a data structure. Each attribute of an entity set has a range of values. The set of all possible values that could be assigned to a specific attribute. The term information is something utilized for data with given attribute of meaningful or processed data. Next is the field. Field is a single elementary unit of information. Symbolize the attribute of an entity is known as a field. Next is the record. Record is a collection of different data items are known as a record. For example, if we talk about the employee entity, then its name, ID, address, phone number, gender or job title can be grouped to form the record for employee. Records may also be classified according to a length. A file can have a fixed length records or a variable length records. What is the meaning of fixed length record? In a fixed length record, all the record contains the same data items with the same amount of space assigned to each data item. And in the variable length record, file records may contain a different length. Next, last basic term is a file. File is a collection of different records of one entity. Type is known as a file. File contain all the records and all the attributes and all the values of the attributes. Next is the what are the objectives of data structure, why we use the data structures. Data structure is used for the correctness and efficiency of the programs and the particular processes. Correctness means data structure are designed to operate correctly for all kind of inputs based on the domain of interest. And we can say that correctness forms the primary objective of data structure, which always depends upon the problems that the data structure is meant to be solved. Next is the efficiency. Data structure is basically required to execute, to implement any program very efficiently. So efficiency is the second objective of the data structure. Data structure also requires to be efficient. It should process the data quickly without utilizing many computer resources like memory space. In the real-time state, the efficiency of a data structure is a key factor in determining the success and failure of the process. Next is the classification of data. Data structure is delivered as a set of variables related to each other in various methods or various ways. So data structure is generally categorized into two categories. Basically, data structure is generally categorized into two categories. First category is a primitive and second category is a non-primitive. These two categories are further divided into many categories like linear, non-linear, user-defined data types and fundamental data types. Next is the primitive data structure. Primitive data structure are the data structure consisting of the numbers and characters that come inbuilt into a program. These data structures can be manipulated or operated directly by machine level instructions. Basic data types like integer, character, float, boolean comes under the primitive data structures. These type of data structures also called as simple data structures. They contain characters that cannot be further divided. For example, if we declare any variable using integer data structure, then we cannot divide the int keyword into another sub levels, or we cannot divide int. If we want to declare any variable using a integer data structure like int a, then we cannot divide this data structure into another subpart, because int is also a basic part of a primitive data structure. Next is the non-primitive data structure. Non-primitive data structure are basically categorized into two categories: linear data structure or non-linear data structure. Non-linear data structure are those data structures which are derived from a primitive data structures. These data structures cannot be manipulated or operated directly by machine level instructions. The focus of these data structure is on forming a set of data elements, either homogeneous or heterogeneous. Homogeneous meaning same data type and heterogeneous meaning different data types. Based on the structure and arrangement of data, these data structures divided into two subcategories. First is the linear data structure, second is the non-linear data structure. Next is the subcategorization of a primitive data structure and non-primitive data structure. Primitive data structure further categorized into four categories: integer, float, character and boolean. And non-primitive data structure are further categorized into two categories: linear data structure or non-linear data structure. These two categories are again having a subcategorization is a static data structure, dynamic, and non-linear data structure are categorized into two categories: tree or graph. ठीक है जी. और linear data structure the category of static data structure is also divided into an array, and dynamic having a linked list, stack and queue. Next is the linear data structure. Linear data structure is a data structure that preserves a linear fashion among its data elements is known as a linear data structure, or having a linear connection between data elements. The arrangement of data is done linearly, where each element consists of a successors and predecessors except the first and last data elements. First element have a successors and last element and having a predecessors except the first and last data elements. However, it is not necessarily true in the case of memory, if as the arrangement may not be sequential in the form of memory. For examples, arrays, stacks, queues and linked list are comes under the linear data structure. Next is the based on memory allocation, the linear data structure are further classified into two types. First is the linear and linear data structure classified into a static and dynamic. Static category consists of arrays and dynamic category consists of a linked list, queues and stacks. Static data structure are those data structure which having a fixed size are known as a static data structure. The memory for these data structure is allocated at a compiler time and their size cannot be changed by the user after being compiled. However, the data stored in them can be altered. Dynamic data structure are those data structures which having a dynamic size. The memory of these data structure is allocated at the runtime and their size varies during the runtime of the code. Dynamic data structures size also change at the execution time or the runtime of the program. Next are the various types of linear data structure. First is the array. Array is a static data structure, comes under a linear. Arrays are defined as a collection of similar type of data items stored at a continuous memory allocation. It is one of the simplest data structure where each data element can be randomly accessed by using its index number. This is the representation of array. This is known as a representation of array. Array is represented by a syntax. We can declare an element using array. For example, data type is integer, variable name is array having a size 5. This is a data type, this is variable name and this is known as a size of array. This means that we have declared a variable with size 5 or we have declared a variable with a continuous memory. This means this is the basic representation starts from a 0 index. It means this array is used to store a 6 elements from 0 to 5. These are the array elements. These all are the array elements and this is the index of array. As per the above illustration, there are some of the following points. Array index always starts from a 0. Each element of the array can be accessed by its index. We can access the elements of array by using the index of array. Next are the types of array. Array is divided into three categories: one-dimensional, two-dimensional and multi-dimensional array. One-dimensional array, an array with only one row of data items, is known as a one-dimensional array. It is stored in ascending storage location. Two-dimensional array, an array consisting of multiple rows and column of data element, is called a two-dimensional array. It is also known as a matrix. Multi-dimensional array, we can define a multi-dimensional array as an array of multi-dimensional are not bounded of two indices or two dimensionals. These type of array are having multiple indexes or multiple bounded to declare any variable. Next is the linked list. Linked list is another example of linear data structure used to store a collection of data dynamically. This linked list data structure comes under a dynamic linear data structure. Data elements in this data structure are represented by the nodes connected to a links or a pointers. This is a basic representation of a linked list. Each node having two parts. One is the information field, consists of the actual data, and the pointer field consists of the address of the subsequent node or the next node of the list. The pointer of the last node of linked list consists of a null pointer as it points to be a nothing. Unlike the array, the user can dynamically adjust the size of linked list as per the requirements. Next are the types of linked list. There are various type of linked list: single linked list, double linked list and circular linked list. In single linked list we can access the data in a single direction. In double linked list we can access the data in both directions, backward as well as the forward direction. In circular linked list we can also access the data from the first node to last node and last node to the first node in a circular motion. Next next data type is stack. Stack is a linear data structure that follows the LIFO. LIFO means last in first out principle that allows operation like insertion and deletion from one end of the stack, that is the top. Stack can be implemented with the help of continuous memory allocation as an array and the non-continuous memory as an linked list. Real life examples of stacks are pile of books, a deck of cards and piles of money and many more. The figure represents the real time example of a stack whereas the operations are performed from one end only, like the insertion and removal of one book from the top of the stack. It implies that the insertion and deletion in the stack can be done only from the top of the stack. We cannot delete and insert any element from or any data from the bottom of the list. Next are the primary operations in the stack that we can applied on stacks. First is the push. Push is operation to insert a new element. Pop is operation to remove or delete any element from the stack in termed as a pop operation. Third one is the top operation. This operation will return the last inserted element that is at the top without removing it. Now fourth one is the size. Size operation will return the size of the stack, that is the total number of element presented in the stack, and last is the empty. Empty operation shows that whether the stack is full or whether the stack is empty. Next is data structure is the queues. Queue is a linear data structure that is also comes under a dynamic data structure and similar to a stack with some limitations on the insertion and deletion of elements. The insertion of element in a queue is done at a one end and deletion of element is done at another or opposite end. The queue data structure follows the first in first out principle. First in first out principle to manipulate the data elements. Implementation of queue can be done using arrays, linked list or stacks. The queue data structure allows us to follow the FIFO, first in first out principle to manipulate the data elements. Implementation of queue can be done by using the linked list, arrays and stacks. Some real-time examples of stacks and queues are the ticket counters and car wash and many more. The image is a real-life illustration of a movie ticket counter where the customer who comes first is always served as a first. The customer arriving last will always served as a last. Both ends of the queue are open, can execute the different operation. User can come first serves as a first, and customer come at the last will served at the last. Next are the basic operations of the queue. First operation is NQ. NQ means insertion and addition of some data items to the queue is called a NQ. The element insertion is always done with the help of rear point. And next is the DQ. This is known as a rear point of this is known as a rear point of queue. Last element is known as a rear point of the queue. DQ is the deleting or removing the data element from queue is termed as a DQ. The deletion of element is always done with the help of front pointer. We can always delete the element of any queue is from the front end only. The third one is the peek or front operation, that is acquire the data element available in the front node of the queue without deleting it. Next is the rear, is full and is null operations. The operation return the element at the rear end without removing it. It is known as a rear operation of the queue. And is full is validates the queue is full or queue is empty. Is null means check if the queue is empty. Next is the non-linear data structure. Non-linear data structure are those data structure where the data elements are not arranged in sequential order. Sequential order. Non-linear data structure are data structure where the elements are not arranged in the sequential order, which means that elements not follows any linear fashion to arrange the data or to sort the data. In linear data structure, the insertion and removal of data are not feasible in a linear manner. There exists a hierarchical relationship between the individual. For example, this figure shows that the hierarchical relationship between the individual data items, parent node, child node and subchilds. Trees and graphs are the example of non-linear data structure. First data structure is a tree. Tree is a non-linear data structure that is a hierarchical containing a collection of nodes such as each node of tree stores a value and a list of references to the other nodes. Also say that the tree data structure is a specialized method to arrange and collect the data in computer to be utilized more effectively. It contains a central node and subnodes and connected via edges and represents the tree data structure consists of a roots, branches and leaves connected. Next are the types of trees. Trees are basically divided into a various categories or various types. First type is the binary tree. Binary tree is a tree data structure where each parent node can have at a most 2 children termed as a binary node, and the binary search tree is also known as a tree data structure where we can easily maintain a sorted list of numbers. ABL tree is a self-balancing binary search tree where each node maintains extra information known as a balance factor whose value is either -1, 0 or +1. B tree is a special type of self-balancing binary search tree where each node consists of a multiple keys and can have a more than 2 children. Basic type of tree is a binary tree and binary search tree. Binary search tree having a 2 categories, ABL tree or a B tree. Next is the graph data structure. Graph data structure comes under a non-linear data structure. A graph is another example of non-linear data structure, comprise a finite number of nodes or vertices and the edges connecting them. The graphs are utilized to address the problem of real world in which it denotes the problem area as a network, as social network, circuit network and telephone network. For example, the nodes or vertices of graph can represent a single user in a telephone network, while the edges represents the links between the telephone. These all are the edges and these all are the nodes of any graph. The graph data structure G is considered a mathematical structure. Graph is denoted as a G. Graph data structure is denoted as a G and vertex is denoted as a B and edge is denoted as a E in a non-linear data structure. Next are the various types of graphs: null graph, trivial graph, simple graph, multi-graph, pseudo, non-directed, directed graph. These all type of graphs are used in the data structure to represent the data with the vertices and edges. Connected graph, disconnected, complete, cyclic, acyclic and infinite graph. These all type of graphs utilized in the data structure to represent the various data structures. After the classification of data structure and why we use the data structure, next is the basic operations we can apply on a data structure. There are so many operations which we have to apply or which we can apply on a data structure. First is the insertion. Insertion means if we want to insert any element or if we want to add any new element in a data structure, then we can use the insertion operation for a data structure. These are the basic operations which we can apply on all the data structures. Next is the deletion. Deletion means to remove and delete a specific data elements from a given list of the data elements. If we want to delete any element from a list, if we want to delete any element from a given list, then we can use the delete operation of a data structure, or we can remove easily the element from the list. Next is the searching. Searching is the another data structure operation, which means to find the location of one or more data elements. That means certain constraints, such as a data element may or may not be present in a given set of data items. If we want to find any specific element from a list, then we can use the searching operation for searching operation on a data structure to find the particular element. Next is the traversal. Traversing a data structure means accessing each data element exactly once so it can be administrated. A traversal data structure is basically used for a trees and graphs data structure. For traversing required while printing the name, for example, traversing is required while printing the name of all the employees in a department. Sorting is the last operation which we can apply on a data structure. Sorting means to arrange the data elements in either ascending or descending order to depending upon the type of application. Next are the various applications of data structure. First application is we can use the data structure with operating system, and we can also use the data structure in a compiler design. Data structure is also used in the various fields like blockchain technology, genetics, image processing and simulation and modeling.